Hammonds began streaming her night on Facebook Live. Her friends were watching in real time when something went dangerously wrong. Just 20 years old, Hammonds was dead, shot to death less than a block from her mother's house.
20-year-old Tynesha Hammonds knew what she wanted from her life. She and her baby son, Amari, had their fair share of ups and downs in life, but Hammonds had learned to navigate them well. However, everything changed in December 2018 when she became a victim of a terrible tragedy. So, what happened that night? Who was behind it? What happened to Hammonds? And where are those attackers now? Stay tuned as we find answers to these questions in today's video. This is the story of Tynesha Hammonds, the young mother who was a victim of gun violence when she was out partying with her friends. Tynesha Hammonds lived in the Bloomfield neighborhood in Macon, Georgia. The 20-year-old had a positive outlook on life, and nothing could daunt her. She had a baby boy named Amari, and her life revolved around her. She had a supportive family who wanted her to win in life. Days before Christmas, Hammonds had a night out planned with her friends. She left her baby boy at her home. She walked out of her house and entered her car while streaming her night out live on Facebook. Many were watching the live stream. She was talking about herself and what she had planned for the night. But suddenly, viewers heard loud popping noises. Someone was firing multiple rounds of bullets, and some of them hit Hammonds.
A young mother shot to death just days before Christmas. The whole thing caught on camera, and that video somehow made its way online and racked up more than 200,000 views.
She lost her life right on the spot. Help was called. When deputies arrived, they found Hammonds lying on the ground beside a blue Nissan Altima with a bullet wound in her body. She had already succumbed to her injuries.
Hammonds was shot in the head.
She was pronounced here behind us here at 8:50.
It took only minutes for the news to spread throughout the state and the whole country. It was reported Hammonds was driving the vehicle on Bloomfield Way when multiple shots were fired at the vehicle, the sheriff's office says. However, they couldn't immediately identify the attacker or establish any motive. No one knew if the attacker knew Hammonds or if she was a victim of gun violence, but they were determined to find the attacker and continued their investigation. They collected information from the neighbors, Hammonds' family members and friends, and checked the surveillance footage of the street.
Sergeant Clay Williams with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office says investigators are treating that Facebook Live video as evidence, but so far have not at least publicly identified a suspect or a motive.
Hammonds' family also requested locals to come forward with any information that could help the sheriff's office find the perpetrators and charge them. Because the incident happened when Hammonds was online, many witnessed it when it took place. Some people made copies of the video and shared it with others. Soon, everyone had seen the sensitive content of how Hammonds lost her life, and many feared for their lives in the streets of Macon. The video was gathering views from the general public, but was hampering the privacy of Hammonds' family members. So they were trying to get the video taken down. But sadly, the internet is like the sea, and when something starts circulating online, it's really difficult to control its flow. Thankfully, Facebook took the video down soon after it went viral.
Tynesha's soon-to-be cousin-in-law, Sarah McMiller, who has known her since she was a baby, says Facebook soon took the video off of their site, but somebody apparently made a copy of it first. That copy was quickly uploaded to flyheight.com, a site full of provocative user-uploaded videos. Despite the family's wishes for months, the video of Tynesha's last living moments remained on the site, racking up more than 200,000 views.
Sarah McMiller, Tynesha's soon-to-be cousin-in-law, grew up with her and was very close to her. She heard the news from Tynesha's cousin and her fiancé, and she couldn't believe her ears that something like this could have happened to her.
My fiancé actually had to tell me, they mentioned the white sheet. I don't think she's here anymore. I couldn't wrap my mind, not her, not Tynesha.
After seeing how the sensitive video of Hammonds' death was being circulated online and considering how badly it was impacting her family members, Sarah and others decided to contact Fly Height and requested them to take down the video.
You emailed flyheight.com and said,
once it's on the internet, it's out there. But I'm like, much damage control y'all could do, please take it down. Amari's not gonna be a baby forever. Her son's gonna have a social media one day. I would hate for him to come across that video.
She said she understood that this was a tricky legal situation, but she said it would be an easy choice when it came to morals. The person who uploaded it could simply choose to take it down because they were gathering views, counts off of a dead woman. this was a very sensitive issue that involved the emotions of many people.
If you have a heart, take it down. Think of her child. If you won't take it down for anybody else, think of her mother and her child. Her mother had to bury her daughter.
After considering the situation, Fly Height decided to remove the video from their website. They never replied to Sarah's email, but when the reporters searched for the video on the internet, they didn't find it there anymore. On the other hand, the incident had a traumatizing effect on the neighborhood. Joey Stevens, a neighbor who lived close to Hammonds, was brave enough to show his face on camera and give his 2 cents on the incident when many other neighbors refused to do so in fear of their lives.
It was a feeling echoed by many parents on the street who felt by speaking out they could put themselves or their families in danger.
On the night of the incident, Stevens heard commotion outside, and when he came out to check what happened, he saw that the unthinkable had taken place.
I heard gunshots, and then when I went out there, they had everything taped off when I went out there.
He said that he had to force his children to stay indoors because he didn't want to risk their lives when they played outside.
Keep my kids in the house. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to come out and play, but it's just too dangerous right now these days.
As no one knew if Hammonds was targeted, it put everyone in the neighborhood at risk of becoming a victim of random gun violence, and the residents of Bloomfield didn't know if they could walk the streets of the neighborhood without fearing for their lives. Hammond's case made people ask an important question about online security. What happens to your pictures or videos that are released online without your permission? What could you do to prevent their circulation when it's almost impossible to track it online? Adam Hall, a legal scholar at Harvard's Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society, spoke to the reporters, stating that user behavior online was changing so rapidly that it was almost impossible for them to keep track of it.
The facts about internet usage, people's behavior on the internet, all of the things that it makes possible, both for good and for bad, are changing so rapidly that the law hasn't really had time to catch up.
Hall said that when you took a picture or a video, you already had its copyright. You could use this power to claim back your video or image, or ask the third-party website to take it down by issuing a takedown notice.
So you could absolutely go to a website and say, I have copyright in this particular video. There is a copy of that video located on your website. I'm the copyright owner and I want it taken down.
And he claimed that a majority of the websites would have to maintain the law and take down videos on the basis of copyright infringement.
Vast majority of websites will comply with a DMCA notice. And just very quick aside, a DMCA notice is the official way with which you ask for something to be removed based on your copyright in it.
According to Hall, the process isn't all that complicated. You just have to send the website some proof, and they should be able to check it and take down the video.
It's extremely easy. Some would say too easy. You basically just have to send whoever is linking to or hosting the material a short letter that checks 5 or 6 boxes. You know, you say I'm the holder of the copyright, or I represent someone who does. Here's where it's located. I believe that it's infringing. Date, etc., and that's it.
However, he mentioned that it might not work for all websites. If the website is operated by a team that uploads the content, you have better chances of having it taken down. But for websites that host user-generated content, it can be a little trickier to have your content removed.
They can, if they want, say, well, we will pass this along to the user and let them know that you've made a claim, and then basically you can take it up with them, or they can honor it, etc.
Hammonds' family was eventually satisfied because Fly Height decided to take their requests into consideration and remove the video, but that isn't the case for everyone. Many people have had their content exploited in various ways, and the websites or users doing those don't care much about the original owner. In such circumstances, the law needs to be stricter to ensure that no copyrighted material is ever misused by a third party. Reportedly, Macon-Bibb County had a count of 39 homicides in 2018, and with Hammonds, the total climbed to 40. In 2017, the count was 30. Macon-Bibb County Chief Coroner Leon Jones spoke to the reporters after Hammonds' death and expressed his concern over the growing number of gun violence cases.
At 40 homicides, sir. We had 30 for last year. and we have, what, 5 or 6 more days to go in this year? This is scary.
He said that in 2010, the number was at 15 and was much bearable. But is 15 really that small a number when it comes to people losing their lives to senseless gun violence? According to reports, another similar incident took place only a day ago. The county was reeling from that incident and hadn't recovered from it yet when Tynesha Hammonds lost her life the same way within 48 hours. In 2023, not 1, but 3 gun violence incidents claimed innocent lives in Macon County. In April, a teen was fatally shot at Bloomfield Road in Macon while in his own house.
The violence in Macon, we are following at least 3 shootings that happened over the Easter weekend,
leaving 2 people dead and at least 4 more wounded. We begin with the Bloomfield Road shooting that killed 15-year-old Ozias Gore.
Ozias was working in the kitchen when he was attacked suddenly.
Yes, his aunt says the teen was in his kitchen pouring a glass of water Saturday afternoon when a car drove by, shooting up his South Macon home.
He had many family members in the house with him, but none of them were harmed. Only Ozias was fatally injured.
Ozias, his mom, brother, sister, along with his 1-year-old and 4-month-old niece and nephew were all there when bullets flew through their home.
The coroner's report said that a single bullet found its way to Ozias' back and claimed his life. There were at least 17 bullets fired at the house.
Today, you could see how bullets riddled the home. We counted at least 17 from one end of the home to another. Bullets pierced the car out front, shattering the glass.
His aunt Tasha Fordham said that Ozias was a driven and ambitious kid who wanted to excel in life and had an active interest in academics and hobbies.
The high school student loved sports and spending time with his family. He was excited to turn 16 this August.
She also claimed that he was responsible and wanted to bear his own cost. He was looking forward to joining work as soon as he hit 16.
He always kept telling him, Mama, that he wanted a job. Mama, when I get 16, Mama, you help me get me a job. That's all he wanted.
She said that the family was still coping with the loss and hoped that no other family would ever have to see this day.
A terrible tragedy that no mother shouldn't go through.
The house was badly damaged after this incident. Glass was shattered, there were bullet holes everywhere, and now the family didn't have a place to stay.
They can't go back in their house no more because of what they did.
According to Fordham, this wasn't the first time random people had fired at their house. They had been subjected to terror repeatedly.
We let it die down for a minute, and we thought everything was over with. Go back in now, it's not over with.
So how many times has it been shot up now?
6.
Fordham said they reported those incidents to the sheriff's office, but nothing much was done other than a preliminary investigation.
The family reported at least one of those previous shootings to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office on February 13th. On that day, an incident report says more bullets blew through the home, but nobody was hurt.
The details of the report indicated that one of the sons of the family knew what had happened and who had fired at their house, hinting that the attacker might know one of those sons and was probably targeting them to intimidate them or gain something from them.
That report says Ozias' mother, Shimon Gore, told deputies she didn't know who shot up her home, but said her son may know why it happened. The report didn't say which son.
The sheriff's office is still investigating the incident as of July 2024. They have some solid proof to work with, which gives everyone hope that they might catch the perpetrator soon.
They are looking for a beige or tan Mercury Marquise or Crown Victoria. Investigators couldn't tell us the car's year model.
However, not all victims met a tragic fate like Hammonds. 27-year-old Darius Rozier was a victim in a 2017 gun violence case. He survived the attack, and in May 2019, he testified at the court. The incident didn't leave him unscathed. Rozier has since been paralyzed from his waist down. He was wheeled into the court in a gurney. He said after being fired at, he thought he was dead, although many of these cases have remained unsolved. In another shootout case in 2018, the sheriff's office managed to arrest 2 teens who committed the crime. 2 teens fired at victim Kendrick Davis at the corner of Warpath and Manson Road. When the deputies arrived, Davis was lying on the ground with 2 bullet wounds, and a 3rd bullet was stuck at the house just behind him.
Argument over a girl may have led to 2 people shooting and killing 15-year-old Kendrick Davis.
Bibb County Sheriff's Office responded to calls of shots fired. Now, 16-year-old Troy Jackson found himself in court today for the murder of Kendrick Davis, he was 15 years old. He's also being charged alongside his 18-year-old cousin, Jamone Jackson.
In court, he appeared to be in tears as he was presented before the judge to hear all his charges. He was handcuffed.
All right, Mr. Jackson, do you understand you've been charged with the offense of murder? Parents know that you're down here? Yes, sir.
Neighbors were left shocked and traumatized after being exposed to these incidents. One neighbor, named Betty Moore, expressed her concerns and fears with the reporters. On the night of the incident, just before midnight, she woke up to the noise of bullets being fired, but she thought it was a dream, so she fell back to sleep. But her cat was freaked out by the exceeding levels of commotion outside, which made her get up and check what was going on.
When I was asleep in this room, right below this one, and I pulled this up, and see, you can see outside.
And then she saw police vehicle lights and caution tapes and knew that something terrible had happened, and she hoped that the victim's family would find the strength to cope. She also lamented the life of the Jackson cousins, who had wasted their entire life, which they would now spend in prisons and detention centers. Sheriff David Davis told the reporters that this type of incident usually destroyed the lives of all families involved, and the teens engaged in the crime never had a normal life going ahead.
When you have these homicides involving teens killing teens, you've really disrupted and destroyed two families.
He added that this was the 7th teen homicide in 2018. This case was particularly unfortunate because the teens were arguing over a girl and nothing serious. The argument escalated, and it led to one of them losing his life to the other. He said that the 3 boys could have been in a gang together, but they didn't believe the incident was gang-related at all. He also had a message for other teens and their parents.
Keep yourself at home. Only bad things happen on the street after 11 or 12 o'clock at night. We can't be everywhere, but every parent can be in their household to make sure that their kids are in their home where they're supposed to be.
Troy was charged with murder, and he would be charged as an adult. And as for Tynesha Hammonds' case, as of July 2024, it's still under investigation. Her family is still looking for the perpetrator who turned their lives upside down and left baby Amari without shelter.
We may never move on. It'll never be another Tynesha, but allow her mother to get some sleep at night. Give her that peace of mind, because what we lost, we can never get it back.
Let's just hope that the family manages to find some semblance of peace. What did you think of the case? Do you think Hammonds lost her life in a random gun violence incident? Or do you think her attackers knew her and had planned to take her life? Why do you think the gun violence in Macon-Bibb County is rising rapidly? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel.